Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a horror thriller film called Abigail from 2024. Enjoy your viewing. The movie begins with a little girl Abigail in pointe shoes on stage. The young ballerina is dancing in front of an empty hall, while Joey is eating a lollipop in the alley. Noticing the accomplices, the woman checks her gun and, putting on gloves, climbs into the van. The second group of people hacks into the cameras near the mansion. Sniper Rickles takes up a position on the roof. Soon they receive a signal. The target has left. Abigail is being driven home from the theater by her personal chauffeur. While he is driving, Joey and his two accomplices break into the mansion. In the bedroom, the woman realizes that the target is a small child, but it's too late to retreat, because there are no weaklings in the gang. When the child returns, the bandits attack her. Undaunted, the girl pierces Frank's arm with a pencil and calls for help. She is grabbed by the big man, Peter. The girl says, "I can't breathe." Her partner gives the victim a sedative injection. The kidnappers put the body in a bag as the father's motorcade pulls up to the entrance. The three leave through the back door, taking a sniper with them on the way. Despite the lights being on, they reach the gate, where a van is waiting. Now the task is to get out of the city. On the way, Joey checks the girl's pulse. It is steady and calm. Then he puts a blindfold over her eyes. Hacker Sammy orders him to steer to the left so that she can turn off the cameras, but the driver, on the contrary, presses to the right, hiding behind a truck. The team arrives at a luxurious country mansion, where they are met by their hireling Lambert, who has fallen from gang leader to common criminal. He invites the mercenaries inside, ordering them to put the girl in the bedroom and the shooter to prepare a position on the roof in case of uninvited guests. Lambert explains the rules to the team. They don't know each other and use call signs. There are 24 hours left to complete the task, after which they will receive $7 million each. The main thing is that nothing happens to the girl while he negotiates the ransom. Joey is assigned to contact the girl so that no one will recognize her. To prevent the bandits from being tracked, the boss takes the phones and leaves, humming a song. The mercenaries pounce on the free alcohol while waiting. The driver Dean boasts that he can see through people, giving out characteristics to his accomplices. Joey objects, and then they offer her a bet. She will determine the past of her colleagues for money. The woman says that Frank is a former cop, not just a patrolman, but a detective. Peter is a big guy from Quebec who was bullied by his peers, and when he grew up, he began to fight back, which turned into a job. Sammy is a spoiled rich girl who enjoys hacking into computer networks for fun. Sniper Rickles is a former Marine, and the driver is a sociopath. In response, Frank calls her a former drug addict. As a cop, he can smell them from afar. Long sleeves hide pierced veins, and a passion for lollipops is a way to distract. She also doesn't drink to avoid temptation. With her collar over her face, the woman checks on Abigail. She asks her to remove the blindfold and tie the handcuffs in front, not behind her back. The girl is crying in fear. To calm her down, Joey swears on his little fingers that no one will hurt her. The prisoner asks if she has children. The woman admits that she has a son, but doesn't want to talk about him. Abigail says that her father doesn't care about her because he's tired of her. Abigail scares Joey by saying that she regrets what is about to happen to her. She asks Frank if he knows whose daughter they kidnapped. Despite his friendship with Lambert, he knows nothing. The man goes to the child, threatening her with a gun, and asks about her father. When Frank finds out that they have kidnapped the daughter of a powerful mafia man, he wants to get out of the game. The accomplices manage to convince him to stay, promising $7 million each and only 22 hours to wait. Then Frank orders the defense to be set up. If everything he heard about Lazar is true, they could be found at any moment. While wandering the mansion's corridors and inspecting its rooms, Joey runs into Rickles. When he finds out that she is a former military nurse, he proposes a deal. They cover each other's backs, not trusting the others. Dean is in the room talking to the hacker Sammy, but she chases him away. Disappointed, he walks around the house, drawing a lewd picture on the sleeping Peter's face. While exploring the mansion, he finds an ancient fresco depicting a little girl who looks very much like a prisoner. When Dean goes down to the storeroom, he comes across rats, and when he tries to leave, something grabs him and drags him into the darkness. Sammy hears the boy screaming and goes to check on him. Later, she finds Dean in the kitchen, but when she gets closer, she sees that his head is missing, and it falls right into her hands. At the scream of the frightened girl, the big man Peter comes running and calls for the others. The frightened criminals, gathered in a circle, realize that the atmosphere in the house is simply unbearable. They wonder who could have done it and why. The legend of a criminal named Valdez, who works for Lazar, comes to mind. Allegedly, when 3 mafiosi were caught by the FBI, they agreed to testify. Valdez broke into the guarded floor and killed them, leaving them all beheaded. In all this, none of the agents saw or heard anything. Assuming that Valdez has come for the girl, Joey offers to check on her. As they climb the stairs, the gangsters wonder how the killer found them, because he either followed Lambert, or one of them is Valdez. After making sure that Abigail is there, Rickles suggests that they escape while they are still alive, but the front door is locked with a steel grate. When Peter tries to kick it down, the security shutters come down on the windows, trapping the criminals. Rickles checks his post and discovers that the rifle has been stolen. Joey goes to see Abigail to find out if her father's hired gun has been to see her. The girl confesses that Frank said he was Valdez. Joey says it's Frank's fault, and they decide to attack him, going around on both sides. Hearing a noise, Joey turns around and sees a Marine with his face and throat torn open. Going down to the ground floor to find Frank, she holds him at gunpoint, accusing him of murder. But thanks to a tactical deception, the former cop distracts her attention and draws his weapon himself. When Joey finds out that Rickles is dead and that Frank is the killer, he assumes that Abigail deceived the woman in an attempt to split the gangsters. Frank orders Peter to eliminate the girl while he and Joey have a Mexican duel. The giant goes up to the bedroom, forcing the woman to run after him and break his arm. They are joined by Frank and Sammy. The situation is tense, and none of the adults, except for the hacker, notice how little Abigail is released from her handcuffs. The captive strikes a pose before showing her true colors. She jumps at Peter, trying to bite him, but Frank's well-aimed shot stops her. Abigail gets up, despite the shot, and attacks her captors. She ignores the bullets fired at point-blank range, and only the timely closing of the door saves the bandits. Realizing that Abigail is a vampire, the criminals try to figure out how to get rid of her. Interrupting Peter's hysteria, Frank proposes to kill the girl. Sammy looks for garlic in the kitchen, and Peter breaks billiard cues to make homemade steaks. Joey thinks the plan is ridiculous, assuming that Abigail had foreseen this turn. When they arrive at the room, they see that the girl is not there. She has already moved to the top floor and is dancing to music with somebody. The criminals attack her, but they can't do anything because the vampire is too fast and agile. She is not afraid of garlic, and with Peter's cross, she pierces his chest. Intercepting Frank's attack, Abigail stakes his leg, and the adults retreat. The nurse treats her colleague's wounds, and then suggests an alternative way, to inject Abigail with the sedative that was injected into her during the kidnapping. To find the girl, the criminals split into groups. Sammy finds a coffin-like chest with old junk inside. After getting lost in the cobwebs, she falls into a pool filled with rotten corpses. She gets out of the pool, scaring the others with her scream. Joey runs to the rescue when he hears Peter's scream in his headphones. He checks the sharpness of the stick and injures his finger. After that, Abigail appears, forcing Peter to run for his life. The girl chases him, leaping over the obstacles with ease before Frank opens the door and pushes his colleague over the railing. Abigail turns her attention to Frank, throwing him down the stairs. As the girl bends over her victim, Joey attacks her, but she counters by throwing a syringe. As she tries to retrieve it, Abigail bites Sammy and levitates Frank into the air. Peter arrives just in time to hold the girl down, allowing Joey to inject her with a sedative. The criminals lock Abigail in the elevator. When she comes to, she calls them by name. It turns out that she had lured them in on purpose to take revenge. Each of them had once harmed her father. Frank arrested his subordinates, and Joey was unable to carry out a clandestine operation because of anesthesia. Peter and Sammy stole from the syndicate from a front company. And they're not the first victims, because others are lying in the pool. This is how the girl has fun. Abigail offers a deal. Whoever releases her will be spared. Peter agrees, but Joey wounds him to change his mind. Leaving Frank to guard the prisoner, the girls go to treat the big man's wound. The vampire offers the cop a new deal. She will tell him about a secret exit from the mansion if he lets her out. When Frank finds out about the exit in the library, he says that he tricked her, but the girl was expecting it. She breaks the cage with a powerful punch and attacks the man. Joey manages to break the closed window, and the vampire's hand explodes from the sunlight. While Abigail regenerates, the people flee. In the library, Frank is looking for a secret exit, but it turns out that the girl has tricked him. Sammy suggests finding the house's power source and hacking into it to open the defense mechanisms. The criminals go off in pairs to search for her. In the process, the hacker, bitten by a vampire, hears Abigail's voice and sees the bite heal. Turning into a vampire under Abigail's control, Sammy attacks Peter, tearing him apart. She then lures Joey and Frank into a trap. They notice their colleague's strange behavior and run back to the library, where they use the reflected sunlight to tear her apart. Suddenly, a secret passage opens up, and the survivors follow a secret corridor that leads to the observation room. There they are met by Lambert, whom Abigail turned into a vampire. He helped her for many years, but now he wants to get rid of her. Lambert offers Frank a deal. He will turn him into a vampire to take over Lazar's criminal empire. With no other options, Frank agrees. Lambert bites him and gives him a drink of his blood. Soon Frank regains consciousness and Lambert offers him Joey as his first meal, but is stabbed in the back for his betrayal. Having eliminated his partner, Frank threatens Joey. Abigail's appearance changes the situation. She attacks the cop, but he intercepts the attack and drinks her blood. Scared, Joey presses the button to disable the defense and runs away. Frank throws Joey down, where she is caught by Abigail. To kill a vampire, you need to suck out all the blood. The girl proposes a military alliance. She will let Joey go if he helps her defeat a common enemy. The two of them attack the newly minted vampire. Joey reminds him that drinking blood is a woman's prerogative. Frank successfully resists them, breaking the girl's bones with a powerful throw, and Joey ties her up. Abigail continues to fight, but he bites her again and drinks her blood. Frank then takes Joey down and bites her to turn her into a vampire. He tells her to take a stick and destroy the girl. Joey gets up and walks towards the exhausted vampire, but at the last moment she tries to stab the man, but Frank pushes her away. Seizing the moment, Abigail picks up a wooden stick and tries to stab Frank. The two of them manage to do it. After that, Frank magically breaks into pieces. Abigail calms Joey down and tells him that being bitten by a dead Frank won't turn her into a vampire. The woman wants to leave, but the girl's father, Lazar, appears. He intends to drink Joey's blood, but Abigail gets between them. The girl tells him that Joey saved her life. Lazar kisses Joey's hand and tells her to leave and never come back. The woman goes outside, gets into a van, takes out her favorite candy, and, enjoying its taste, drives away. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klonsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.